It was the night before Christmas break, and I had nowhere to go. My name's Ethan, a 22-year-old college senior, surviving mostly on instant noodles and part-time shifts. My roommate, Ryan, was heading home for the holidays, all excited about family dinners and fireplace nights. I smiled for him, but deep down, I dreaded the silence of the empty dorm room I'd be left in. See, my mom passed when I was 16, and my dad, well, he kind of drifted away after that. Holidays became just another reminder of what I didn't have. That's when Ryan looked up from packing and said, "Dude, why don't you come stay with us?" Mom won't take no for an answer. I tried to refuse, politeness, pride, maybe fear, but he wasn't having it. Seriously, Ethan. Your family, man. So that's how I found myself in the back seat of his car, driving through winding roads to a little town in upstate New York, with snow falling like feathers against the windshield. The moment we stepped into his house, warmth hit me, not just from the heat, but from her smile. Mrs. Carter, or Linda, as she insisted I call her, looked like the kind of mom who could fix anything with a cup of cocoa. She had that calm presence, the kind that made you feel safe without saying a word. "Ethan," she said, hugging me like she'd known me forever, "Ryan tells me you're quite the hard worker. We're happy to have you here." That night, we laughed over dinner, swapped embarrassing stories about Ryan, and I felt something I hadn't in years, belonging. But later, as the house quieted, and Ryan went to bed, Linda knocked on the guest room door. "Ethan," she whispered softly, "the heat in this room sometimes acts up. If it gets too cold, you don't need to sleep alone. There's a spare bed in my room." For a split second, I didn't know what to say. Her tone wasn't flirty, it was kind. Maternal. She saw something in my eyes I hadn't shown anyone, the loneliness I carried around like a shadow. I nodded, pretending I'd be fine. But later that night, as the cold crept in through the thin blanket, I quietly walked to her room. She was sitting up reading, and when she saw me shivering at the door, she just smiled. "Told you so," she said softly, patting the extra bed beside hers. We didn't talk much, just simple things. About her late husband. About how quiet the house felt without him. About how Ryan leaving for college had made it emptier. And somehow, our silences said more than our words. That night, I didn't feel like a guest. I felt seen. Like someone finally understood that sometimes, kindness isn't about grand gestures, it's about company in the dark. The next morning, she cooked breakfast, eggs, pancakes, the whole deal, and said, "Ethan, I don't know what your plans are after graduation, but this house always has a room for you." Ryan laughed. "Careful, Mom, he might actually take you up on that." But I saw the sincerity in her eyes. And for the first time in a long time, I realized I had more than a place to stay, I had a place to belong. When the break ended and I packed to leave, Linda hugged me tight. "Remember," she whispered again, "you never have to sleep alone. Not in this world. There are people who care, even when you think there aren't." Driving back to campus, snowflakes danced on the windshield again. But this time, they didn't look so cold. Moral. Sometimes, the family we need isn't the one we're born into, it's the one that opens its door when we least expect it. And one act of warmth, one whisper of compassion, can thaw years of loneliness.